Ian's been gone for a while now, and I have him back. And I've been the one kind of excited about learning more about zero waste and spearheading this kind of sustainable Christmas idea. But now that he's back, I was thinking that it would be interesting for me personally, and maybe for you guys, to hear what he feels about the concept of trying to, limit the waste that comes with Christmas.
Yeah. So I have certain issues with like packaging, lots of things that don't seem like they should be coming in plastic that do come in plastic. Like, you can buy 12 eggs and they come in like cardboard, or you can buy 18 eggs and it comes in like styrofoam. It's stupid, right? And it's like, oh, like we're buying like peppers and they're coming in like a plastic bag, or like cucumbers and they're like shrink wrapped.
And then shrink wrapped together.
Yeah. Just, like we have, whenever we're grocery shopping and you're like going to check out and you're looking at all this stuff, I always like take account of how much plastic is in there. And it just seems like it's something that is unavoidable to some level, but it's still worthwhile to support with, our financial decisions to support like less plastic usage, right? Ultimately, if the world is going to be sustainable at some point,
We can't be shrink wrapping our cucumbers.
Yeah.
If we want the world to,
we're going to be asking, future generations and, just ourselves in the future to be like living less convenient lives. So it seems reasonable to be, living slightly less convenient lives currently to try to,
minimize the impact.
Yeah. And it's like kind of a bit of a journey right now too. Like I think part of what we're trying to do on this channel is like figure out how to do things that fit with our lifestyle, and then just put those ideas out there so that maybe other people like we can spread the waste reduction ideas that we come across to other people.
Yeah, I think one thing that's important to say that I feel like we have been saying when it comes to us talking about any of this waste reduction stuff is the reason why we're talking about it is because we want to be better at doing it. Like we are not we're no trash jar role models. Like we're like the opposite of perfect. We're just the status quo, I feel. And we want
maybe
to
slightly better than average, but still pretty close to the for a North American.
Yeah, but like I feel like for us we want to find a way of not being that. Like we can recognize the waste and then we're trying to find ways to reconcile that in how we live, because we don't want to live wasteful lives.
Mm-hmm. Like we want a nice world for our children.
Yeah,
obviously.
Totally.
And not just for our children, but other people's children as well.
We don't want to not throw garbage in our backyard, but be throwing it into the neighbor's backyard for them to deal with, right? Like you need to respect everyone, and respecting what you bring in and what goes out is part of that.
Yeah.
How you do things.
Like one idea that I always thought was a little bit short-sighted in the way that like my generation was just taught about trash and like other generations as well, but it was always like, oh, like pick up your trash, throw your trash out, right? Like as if like as long as it made it to the garbage can, then it was like, like, oh, it's completed its life cycle, like yay, you did it, right? And then it was like, oh, not only are we gonna like get our trash in the garbage, and like, oh, we're gonna go pick up some like wrappers that
someone else's garbage
in the ditch, like which obviously is like we don't want garbage in our natural areas, but it would be better to not be creating that garbage, to be like like supporting economic choices and I think government really has to step in. Like, how are we going to get rid of excessive packaging if, there isn't some sort of government controls over, like plastic usage and packaging and stuff.
I mean, it's like you can vote with your dollar as much as you want, but why not vote with your dollar and also, vote?
Yeah. So there's the garbage and the trash pickup side of it, and then there's also like recycling, right? And it's like, well, recycling is, in a lot of cases it's good. It's not like it's a bad thing, but it's not like super green all the time, right? Like it takes a lot of resources. And so
the way I personally feel about recycling is almost that it's become like a psychological band-aid. It's like, oh, we know that all this waste that we've created is bad, so here, like let's just cover up that boo-boo with like a nice little like pat on the back of like we're gonna reuse this item.
Yeah, like I had plastic water bottles, but I recycled them.
Yeah.
So, like, it's okay.
So it's the same as, like, having a reusable item. But it's so frustrating because to, like, talk about recycling that way is to ignore the reality of manufacturing.
Yeah.
And, like, something that I was just talking about Ian with is the fact that ignoring the costs and, like, the environmental costs of manufacturing is what like creates this whole waste problem in the beginning, right? Because when you ignore what it means to use all this extra resources to package something excessively, and when you ignore what it means to create like a single-use item, you're ignoring what the waste that's created through manufacturing. And like it's so frustrating for me. Someone just the other day was like, oh, cloth diapers, by the time you wash those, like, you're going to be using so much water. It's not like you're actually saving any water in the long run. And people just have no idea the amount of water that it takes to manufacture things.
Yeah.
People have no idea what goes into making this stuff. And, these super simple, reusable solutions, it's like they get ignored for like recycling, it's more glamorous almost.
Yeah. We're trying to use Christmas as an excuse to buy into some like long-term use products.
Yeah, use Christmas as an excuse to
like
invest into some of the nice zero waste items.
One thing that I've been searching for an answer for years is how to freeze tomatoes. Because like one of the things we obviously do is we grow a lot of tomatoes, and we can a bunch, but we also freeze a bunch, and we don't really want to go all of one or all of the other, because if the power goes out, you might lose a bunch of stuff in the freezer. So it's always good to have stuff that's canned, but at the same time, putting stuff in the freezer is so easy.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's hard to get everything canned with the kids.
Yeah.
like to get back to more canning.
But the freezing is like a super good option too, right? And the way we've been doing it is we put it in a plastic bag, and then just freeze it right in there, and that plastic bag usually like sustains some mortal damage by like getting this like giant thing of tomatoes out of it. So they're 99% of the time they're like single use, and so it's
and then
like
glass has the issue of when stuff falls out of our freezer, because stuff always falls out of our freezer because we have little kids.
Yeah.
Then it shatters, and then it becomes like a hazard.
Yeah, and plastic shatters.
And
as
plastic,
well.
We've used like plastic, like storage containers in the past, and they shatter all the time. Like they're just frozen, and then they like get bumped, and then it's garbage at that point.
Yeah. So we've really been searching for answers to that, and we haven't really come up with the perfect solution yet, but this year we've got a maybe.
Yeah, I've seen some of these metal tiffins, They're basically like a stainless steel box with a lid that snaps on. People have been getting them as like bento boxes for kids' lunches. And I've seen some places where they do have some larger sized ones. People take them and get a roast, from a butcher and bring it home in that. And it seems like if we could get a collection of those, it would be like really well purposed to us. Because another thing too is we gladly freeze into like a large container. So it's not like we'd have to have like 100 of these tiny things that then becomes, like a storage
when we
nightmare.
cook like pasta, we usually try to cook it so that, we have leftovers.
Yeah, we do like a half gallon of tomatoes every time we do like tomato sauce. So.
Yeah, and our goal is to have enough tomatoes for like 100 of those meals.
Well, no, 100. So that's like 50 of those meals.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So that's a lot of tomatoes, and that's a lot of those cases. So it is an investment.
Yeah.
But like it's important to us, right?
And it's an investment, right? Like the way we live, this isn't like something we're like, oh, like this year we're like freezing tomatoes, like because we had extra tomatoes. It's like having extra tomatoes is like, the lifelong plan. Like it's like to us, it's like extra tomatoes, duh, like forever, like like if not having that would be like.
Well, we are tomato-based life forms.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to ask you is, because we like giving presents, obviously, so how do you feel about, like, the idea of limiting the presents?
Well, I'm somewhat comfortable with it this year. I mean, I have been working so much, and I was, the company that I was working for was telling me that I was going to go right up to the, brink of Christmas, essentially, like almost not getting home in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't have any time to shop. So I was like, zero waste. Christmas, obviously, because then I don't get in trouble for not buying any presents.
Well, you don't get in trouble, but you enjoy.
Yeah, like it's
giving...
fun. Like we're family, right? So it's fun to like spoil the kids and like get something nice for my wife and like
you like tricking me.
Yeah, like
wrapping. Always wraps the presents because I like to shake them and try to guess what they are. So he always buys like a bunch of stuff and we'll wrap it all like tricky and then laugh when I have no idea what it is.
I've actually gotten pretty good at it because she's exceptionally good at like guessing presents. Like she just like I'd put presents out for like a couple years and you just like guess them all. You just like knew what all of them were. So then I had to like get super extreme, like weighted packages and like throwing stuff just like totally off the wall. Like
you tricked me once really good with like a couple records in a package. So I was like, it's records, I know it's records, but you just use the records as decoys.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that we could do to like continue that tradition is like we could pick like random things from around the house and then turn it into the guessing game.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, it's from this room. Like, what could it possibly be? So then, we could still do that, but then not need to get like, little things that we wouldn't use.
Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't seem as fun.
You always buy me stuff that like I like and like use. We've never been the type of people to buy like gag gifts. Like, that's always seemed wasteful to us. We're pretty frugal, so we're not about to buy something that we don't want or need. But I want to do more like handmade gifts, and like over the years I have made lots of handmade gifts. It's super common for us to give to our friends and family something handmade.
Do you remember the handmade gift that you gave me? The
last handmade gift Ian ever got? That's not true. So the first year that I knew Ian, I knit him a blanket, which is like 100 hours of work. Because I was like, oh, you can keep it in your car, and it can be like your emergency blanket, and like when you see it, you can be like, oh, like that's so sweet. Serena, to have done that. And he was like, nope, garbage, I hate it. Like, why'd you do that? You can keep it. And I was like, and then the next year I was like, it's because it was the wrong item.
Yeah,
so
it was the wrong item.
I learned how to knit socks so I could knit him socks. And he was like, these socks are disgusting. I'll never use them. Throw them in the garbage.
They were so itchy.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'd still throw them in the garbage.
No handing.
That's one thing that I wouldn't feel the guilt of waste for, is the world's itchiest pair of socks.
And I also don't feel the guilt of having to get Ian gifts because this is how it is quite often.
I mean, usually, like with us, it's like if we need something, we just get it.
Yeah, we just get it. Like we, you know,
Yeah.
like our budgeting isn't so that if we need something, we have to like save up money to get it. It's like, you know, because we're not buying useless things all the time, it means when
There's
we
room in the
need
budget,
something,
so
we just get it. We don't have to wait. There is savings for being able to do that. And, you know, obviously that makes it a lot more comfortable, but
it doesn't make it as exciting for Christmas time.
I guess. Having to wait all year to get like the things you need.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't necessarily want to call that an exciting idea. I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah. You know, buying the kids presents is going to be the challenge, right? Because, like, you know, obviously Serena and I can, like, be like, oh, yeah, it's a zero waste Christmas. And we're like, yeah, like, that's important to us. But, like Leah, if we were like, oh, Leah, we're going to do, like, something super cool for you.
You know how the environment is special, and we care about the world.
Yeah. So because the environment's so special, we're not gonna give you any presents. Yeah. Like like turn on the faucets, right?
Yeah.
Tears.
Like she just wouldn't get it.
Yeah. And like, you know, like the kids, you know, you want to like give them some stuff, like give them some fun memories, give them like it's Christmas, right? Like Christmas is supposed to be like fun for kids, so there's got to be some like middle ground there, right? And so like, you know, some presents, some stuff that she actually likes. Yeah. And Sam as well, right? Like, yeah,
we can't only, even though Sam doesn't necessarily know what's going on, like we can't only give Leah things just because, you know, we have to teach Leah like fair.
Yeah. That she's not the center of attention.
Yeah. Like she thinks she is.
Yeah.
You know, one thing though that I realize, like with some of the stuff that I've been doing so far with Leah, is just creating Christmas with her. Like putting up the tree with her and making the garland with her and a lot of these different things that we've been doing together. Like that in itself is like as exciting as opening presents. You know, like, we're gonna make slime with her in a couple days here, and, you know, like, we could give her slime for Christmas, but getting to actually craft it is, like, even more of a gift for her, so, you know. She's young enough that, like, she can understand the concept of experience gifts. Because, like, that's what she wants. She wants experiences. She doesn't, you know, they're kids that age, they don't really care about things. It's like, you know, yeah, she likes her toys. She doesn't want to get rid of her toys, but, you know, if you taught her that a pillow was her toy, she'd be like, yeah, my precious pillow. I have to go to sleep with it every night. Like,
she'd make imagination games with it or whatever.
Yeah.
And Sam, it's like, Sam's so young that you could give him a toy and he'd play with the box. He's like still, you know, at that age, so he's not gonna get anything like cray.
Yeah, they get like one present from us. That's not they have like a handful of handmade presents that we're gonna be making for them that are nice. Like, you know, I feel like the other thing too that I think is nice for the ability to make handmade presents is I feel like Ian and I have some skills that like so we can actually create something valuable. Like, I feel like I can sew well enough that
it's gonna look good.
Yeah, when I make something for someone that's a hand-sewn object, it's not like, oh, those socks were amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like making professional quality.
Come on, I never said those socks were amazing. I never said that. Because I'm gone for so much of the year so far, and like, you know, the kids miss me, right? Serena.
Me too.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas song is "Driving Home for Christmas," because I'm always like, Ian's driving home for Christmas.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas gift is coming.
So we're gonna be doing like, you know, like going to the pool and like going to the trampoline place and trying to like just do lots of stuff, like lots of activities with Leah and Sam to, you know, make it a fun time, right? Because like toys get old.
Yeah, like,
You know,
I like.
you give them a cool toy and they're like, this is super fun, and they're gonna play with it for like, you know, a couple hours or an hour, and then the next day they might play with it for a half hour, and then they'll play with it for 15 minutes for a week, and then, you know.
You know, I think back to
Gets
my
forgotten.
childhood, and I don't remember like the gifts when I remember Christmas.
Mhm.
You know, like Christmas didn't necessarily have anything to do with like presents.
Yeah.
Like when you think back.
It was about experiences and chocolates.
Definitely about food. Christmas is about food.
Yeah.
Still is.
And like one of the things we're gonna do this year is everybody gets their favorite cheese.
Well, we do that every year. But now there's more people who have an opinion about
Yeah.
what their favorite cheese is. Basically, you would say that you're happy about the sustainable Christmas idea?
I think we're moving in the right direction. Yep.
It's something that you think is worth our time, and, you know, something that you feel like it would be good to commit to for the future?
I think so. You know, it's important to us, right? The sustainability, so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's
Yeah.
kind of what it's all about
Yeah.
for us.
You know, part of going in front of camera is, you know, like, it's to keep us focused on the task that we want to do for our own purpose, right?
Yeah.
Part of it is to, like, try to inspire other people to, you know, do some small changes in their lives.
Yeah, it
So that it's
means,
like-
so much if people, like, we've had a few people say to us that, like, we've inspired them to plant a garden, and it's like, I had no idea that that's something that I could do.
Yeah.
And, like, that's amazing. Like, that's worth putting energy into something, you know? Like, because that can make a really big difference.
Yep. So,
You know, for me, also, I like to talk about this kind of stuff because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Because I make fun of hypocrites. So, you know, if I, like, say something on camera to you guys, then, you know, it kind of makes me, like, have to recommit
yeah.
to it.
That makes you follow through.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
put some pressure on me to actually do
So that's
these
why we
things.
make this promise right now that we will never use plastic again. We will never buy a product made of plastic again.
Yeah,
we will
that's-
never buy anything in plastic packaging again. It's never gonna happen.
That's why we're not making that promise.
Yeah.
But I can say this. We were looking at toys to buy the kids because we were like, okay, they're going to get the one toy from us. And then, like, maybe a couple, like, you know, small things from Santa, but no, like, toys. And it, like, was like, oh, there's, like, a couple different things that would be really good. And, like, I was kind of feeling like maybe if I hadn't made this commitment, that, like, there wouldn't have been a reason to not just give in to the
Yeah.
idea of getting a couple toys. So, you know, thank you. You're helping me, like, actually commit to doing this.
I should be the one thanking them because, like, we got too many toys in this house to begin with. And,
Yeah. Christmas, after Christmas, we're
the
onto the
minimalism.
purging. Yeah. After zero waste Christmas, we're onto minimalist house purging because
yeah.
we have a good
What-
100 bags.
What goes better with the dismal days of January and February than, you know, cleaning out all the clutter from your house, right?
Ugh. Stressing me out just thinking of all our clutter. Right? As I look at all of our clutter behind the camera.
What do you mean? I don't see any clutter. Looks super clean.
Yeah.
Bye.
That's how you're gonna end it?
Join our journey. Bye.
Sure, whatever.